compilation called Milk Sounds Good, and it had Jamiroquai, Fiona Apple, I think there was a Chantel Krabby Isaac. I had no idea what it was for, if it was like a benefit for dairy farmers or something, but it had a cow on the front and then this red banner around the edges of it. And I don't know where I got it, but that was the first CD I owned. Purchased is only slightly cooler, and that's the New Radicals album. Favorite one? Maybe just for nostalgia or because I listened to it a lot as a kid, was Supertramp's Crime of the Century. It was one that my mom would always put on. She had it on record, and then when I first started buying CDs, I bought it on CD, and then when I lost it and got an iPod, I bought it on iTunes. It was the one that whatever new media came out, that was the one that I would buy it on, all of those. So that's probably been the most consistent record in my collection. For our band, I mean, we started in just high school music, and then we progressed on to playing with each other outside of school, and I think that was very important to the foundation of our band, because we didn't know how to play before we started playing with each other, so we learned as a unit and sort of got better as a group instead of being all classically trained and then coming together. We have a chemistry that I think is unique to us, and I wouldn't trade that for having maybe more technical knowledge, and I think there's a lot more value in the chemistry that you have, the four of us, than not. I mean, as long as if you're exposing yourself to new music, and then if you really like it, you're still going to the artist show, or at some point further down the line saying, oh, I downloaded this band and now I'm going to buy the t-shirt at the show, or go to the show, or buy the record when it comes out. It hasn't, I mean, it's easy to say, sure, there's a lot of people that have downloaded our music, and you can say X number of people have done this, so we'd be X number of colors more wealthier or richer because of that, but I think there's the sharing and people coming out to shows, or people showing it to their friends, is more valuable than not, at least for us. I mean, I know it gets to a point where it could seriously impact somebody trying to make a living off of it, and I'm sure it does for us. Well, I know it does for us, but people still come to the shows, and that's what's really important. I don't know if it's a serious, if we're seriously looking into it, but I know, I think it was Bombay Bicycle Club was looking for a support or something. No, other band, I mean, we like going out, and I mean, obviously it's great to play with Foster the People or other bands where they're playing a massive audience, and you get to go out and be a part of that. The challenge of playing to people who couldn't care about you and trying to make them care about you is always great, but I think we like, sometimes it's nice to just go out and do smaller size venues with a couple friends bands and just make it a fun tour across the country. This upcoming tour, we're taking Said the Whale again, and they're really, really great friends of ours, and it makes the tour, just makes it a lot more fun. The most, I guess, eyebrow raising, why would they ever want us to come play there, was Jakarta, Indonesia. And that was the reaction.
Were you surprised that you had a lot of fans there?
Well, I mean, there were a lot of people there, considering I've never been there before. Yeah, it was just, I mean, you always get those messages on Twitter, come to Malaysia, come to wherever, and then you get to go there. And it was amazing. It was really cool. It was a great experience. I don't know if we'll go back. but unless you can make a tour out of it because it's so expensive. But it was great. It was really cool, and it was an awesome experience. There's always fun fans and really fans that are a really great character. I mean, we've had people that, you know, like you a lot and contact you a lot and come to a lot of shows that aren't at all near where they live. But it's not weird. I mean, it's really flattering, and yeah, I like those people. We just played around a lot. We played any show that would have us. We started in Newmarket, and Newmarket had a really good punk scene, which we didn't really fit into. So we had to take up opportunities in the city. And a couple of the shows we played, or more than a few of the shows we played, were those weird kind of battle of the bands where you're encouraged to bring a lot of friends that pay for tickets, and you don't get paid unless you bring a certain number of people. So it's a weird kind of scam. But we played a bunch of those, and the experience was the important thing, and just playing live for what ended up being an empty room and maybe two of your parents and the rest of the bands that were playing. But we found those very helpful, very good to build on when you're writing songs later, and especially when you have new material that you haven't finished yet. It's great to play it live and see what the reaction is, or see what even your personal reaction is, and then that really helps inform how to finish the song or how tight you need to be as a band or a bunch of others. So just play any show you can, whenever you can. One of our earliest shows was at Sneaky D's, and after playing a few, I guess, showcases or kind of things around the city, we were opening for Magneto Lane a couple times at small places, and then we played our own show at Sneaky D's, and I remember showing up to the show with my whole family in tow. This was like a break of the chance. My grandma was there, and there was a lineup at the door, and we realized we were walking back to the venue, and we had to walk through this lineup of people, and we couldn't believe that they were there for us. And it was the first time that we had sold out a venue, that people had actually come and cared and knew the songs. So I think that was probably back in 2006 or 2006. It definitely starts out as, there's four of us in the band, so it starts out as a very stripped down, what can four instruments play? And then once you're in the studio, you add things here and there, the hit sauce that we call it, that aren't necessarily necessary to the song, but are just the things that you'd like to hear, the little production details that are fun to just layer on there. And then after you've done that, the trick becomes, okay, here is the recorded song, how can we play that as four people again, and make the live representation of the song fun and still energetic, and not be weighed down with trying to play all the little parts that we put on the record. So I think it's a balance of both, and it's definitely, what comes out of it is definitely just a direct song that translates well live, and hopefully sounds good on record. I'm sure there is. And I'm sure once this ends, I'll be under the gun to figure out what it is. It's like that. What do you want to be when you grow up? And all over again. All I've done is postpone that question. So until then, no music. This is